Immigration is the act of traveling into a country with the purpose of permanent residence there. However, illegal immigrants are people who are living in a country without official permission to be there. Immigration to the United States is an extremely difficult and emotional procedure. It takes as little as 6 months to go through the process after being a green card holder for at least 5 years. The process of immigration is managed by the ICE, which stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They control trade, customs, border control, and immigration. They are the people who track how many immigrants are coming over the border. Getting over the border is hard, and often immigrants have to meet specific requirements. One way of getting over the border is by having a family member who lives in the United States. Another method is by having a job that is deemed important in the United States. It is also possible to come over if they are a refugee. There are also a few diversity programs that are extremely difficult to qualify for. If an immigrant does not fit any of these criteria, they must turn to a humanitarian group to help them get over. If a person were not a complete United States citizen, they run the risk of being deported. A person of another nationality can be deported without trial if they participate in criminal acts, have invalid documents, or forged travel documents. Otherwise, they are subjected to a trial and a holding period. The only way to avoid this is to leave the United States voluntarily. For people facing deportation, they can seek an appeal. If they were to do this, they would likely need to seek out legal advice from a nonprofit organization. If an illegal immigrant were to come over the border and have a child, they would not necessarily be a U.S. citizen. In 2017, the DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival, made laws to work through the large amount of mothers sneaking over the border pregnant. Now, if a child would want to become a United States citizen, they'd have to turn the proper forms into the DHS, Department of Homeland Security. In the United States, there's debate whether or not immigrants are bad. Some groups argue that some countries' immigrants are hurting their American lifestyle. Some even claim that they are the cause of unemployment. The current president of the United States, Donald Trump, was offered a solution to this supposed problem. He believes the biggest problem of immigration are those coming from Mexico. He believes that by building a large wall between America and Mexico, he can keep the illegal immigrants from crossing over into the United States. The plan was suggested on June 16, 2015. This was suggested during the announcement for Donald Trump to run as president in the 2016 election. He used his big campaign promises throughout the election. The wall is intended to stop illegal immigrants from coming over into the United States. Currently, the border is protected by fences about 10 feet tall. There are also border police who watch the border, do their best to stop people from illegally coming over into the United States. The wall is will need to be about 1,954 miles long, which is the length of the border between Mexico and the U.S. Trump claims he'll need $23 billion to build the wall, saying $18 billion will go directly to designing and building of the wall. Many problems have been addressed in Trump's plan to build the wall. One of these problems is how he's going to pay for it. Trump originally claimed he was going to make Mexico pay for it. However, Mexico denied any of these claims and said they had no intention of helping whatsoever in these plans. After not getting the funding from Mexico, he turned to Congress. However, Congress has yet to come up with any funding for this idea. Despite this, Trump has still gone forward with his plans to build the wall. He began building prototypes with the help of 8 private businesses in late August of 2017. These businesses are Cadell Construction Company of Montgomery, Fisher & Sand and Gravel Temp, Texas Sterling Construction Company of Houston, and W.G. Yates & Sons Construction of Philadelphia. These prototypes were 30 feet wide and 30 feet tall. 8 prototypes were built. Each of these prototypes is estimated to cost $50,000. However, people do not agree with Trump's plan to build the wall. Many comedians have joked about the wall. Others have gone as far as to try to stop it from being built. A popular cards game company known as Cards Against Humanity claims to have bought land somewhere along the border to prevent Trump from being able to build the wall. They asked people to donate for the cause. However, they have yet to disclose where they bought the land. Despite this, Trump continues to try to build his wall. He has attempted to work with Democrats in Congress, offering deals and working through other methods. However, many of these have proved fruitless. Trump has yet to give up on the idea, though. While many groups are trying to keep people from getting in, there are groups still trying to find home in the United States. Many people are being forced to leave their homes and countries to escape war, persecution, or natural disasters. These people are known as refugees. In 1980, the Refugee Act was created to help people having to flee their own country. It gave a system different from the immigration to help process and handle refugees to come into the safe country. through history there have been many cases of mass refugees in the United States. In 1895, the Great Potato Famine brought over millions of Irish people who fled to the United States. Again, in World War II, a massive number of Jews and other minorities fled to the United States to seek refuge. Today, refugees are pouring into the United States. Many people are coming to flee their war-torn country. From September of 2016 to January of 2017, 84,995 refugees have been accepted into the United States. Currently, Syria is the largest outpour of people with 4.9 million refugees fleeing the country. This is due to the civil war currently going on within Syria. It is no longer safe to live there. Other countries with high numbers of refugees include Afghanistan, Lake Chad Basin, South Sudan, and Somalia. Many of these refugees are coming over into the United States and ending up in California. Michigan, Ohio, Arizona, North Carolina, Washington, Pennsylvania, and Illinois, which have all taken at least 3,000 refugees. Arkansas, District of Columbia, Wyoming have accepted less than 10. Delaware and Hawaii have not taken in any. For refugees wanting to be able to enter, they must submit application to determine whether or not they are truly in need of a new home. If they were successful, they are able to become a resident. After this, they may also apply for citizenship, the aforementioned process. Once they are approved residency, they can seek out help from the organization, possibly find shelter in a refugee camp. However, many refugees are being turned away. Trump has recently created a policy banning 7 countries from being able to come to America because they believe they are terrorists. One of these countries is Syria, which is the aforementioned highest refugee rate. If they are rejected, they must return from where they came from. Groups have been working to help alleviate these rules and make it easier to come over to safety. However, there is still a great need to take action to help alleviate the problem.